our devices, you will have to say yes, that you're okay with recording. Those of you coming in, just to let you know, we are being recorded. Quality service. At this point. If there's any reason that you do not want your face to be shown, it is very understandable, and I will not hold it against you, okay? Most of you kind of know me, but if you don't know me, I'm Ariana, aka so many other fucking names that people know me by. Divine Moon Goddess, AG, Big Goddess Energy now, so the list goes on, right? My different personalities. But in this one, I am Ariana. So you can call me Ariana. So tonight, I will be one of your facilitators, as well as Louisa, who I heard her kind of telling her about herself. I don't know if you really went into who you are, but I'll let you just kind of do that. For any of you guys that missed the first one and you don't know who Louisa is.
So hey guys, I'm Louisa, also known as Goddess Love. I'm here as a healer, an educator, a coach. I read tarot and oracle, and I'm just here for you guys. So hopefully we can have a wonderful class number 3 and beyond.
Boom. So if you've missed class 1 and class 2, it's fine. It's okay. In the Healing Beyond Humanity group, class 1 and class 2 are posted. Class 1, we did it as a live, and class 2, we did in Zoom. It is posted. So if you need to go back and rewatch it, you can go back and rewatch it as many times as you want to. And if you don't know where to find that, at the end of class, let me know. I'll do like a short tutorial just to kind of navigate you through of where to find the different things. The only thing I didn't do for 2 class was put the quiz. And there's, I think, like one more worksheet that I wanted to add before I put that in there. So let's get into class 3, which is about forgiveness. We're going to be talking about forgiveness today, okay? Why the fuck should you forgive, right? Like, why? Right? And I hear this a lot with a lot of people. Out of my way. That might have to just stay right there. Anyway, I hear a lot of people like, someone doesn't deserve my forgiveness. And, we kind of go into it, but this person really fucking hurt me. And, and people have done some crazy shit. I know the list goes on, and some people can be very shitty at what they've done, and it can hurt to the core. But forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is solely and only for you. It does not take away what they did to you. It does not mean that, okay, since I'm forgiving you, I'm giving you a pass. No, fuck that. They still did some fucked up shit, okay? It's just saying that it's for you, because if you don't learn, and we're going to talk about this more when we get into it, right? If you don't find a way to let go of the anger, the shame, the guilt, and all of this shit piled up on that, who does it affect, them or you? Most likely they're still doing whatever the fuck they want to do, right? And you're carrying the burden of the hurt and pain. So that is why you should start to forgive, okay? I would say any situation that you can think of, the most heinous shit that's fucking happened to you, right? And you're thinking about the person. Some of you guys are already pissed off and mad thinking about that person, right? The very thought of that person or their name is like, makes you cringe, right? Ask yourself, what's the worst thing will happen if you forgave this person? What's the worst thing that can happen if you forgive? Forgiveness doesn't mean you got to call this person. Forgiveness does not mean you got to let this person back into your life. Forgiveness does not mean you need to have a face-to-face with this person ever. So what's the worst thing that can happen if you decide it's time for me to forgive this situation? Just think about that, okay?
You would feel lighter.
Definitely, right? We're going to go into more of the importance of forgiveness. I'm going to try to fix where we are all at so it doesn't block the notes and stuff, but I think your pictures are on that side, so it might be good, Louisa, once we get over there. When you're looking at forgiveness, you guys, it is in levels, okay? Most of the time when people go into forgiveness, everyone wants to start with other people. I don't agree with that. You know what? I didn't go into the chat box to tell you guys there is a chat box if you need it. Does everybody know where the chat box is in case you need to put a question there or say something? Anybody not know where the chat box is? On your device, depending on if you're on a computer or if you're on a tablet or something, you should have somewhere on there where it's a little chat box. If you have a question or something and you want to say something, you can throw it in that chat box. I forgot to say that. Okay. So when we're looking at the levels of forgiveness, going back to this, there's levels of it, you guys. And you not that you need to start in the particular order that I have on the screen, because you very well do not need to do it in this order. But I actually would rather you start with yourself versus other people. Too often we go to everybody else, forgiving everybody else, and we forget the part of us that was hurt, tortured, abused, and abandoned in this life, okay? So as you're working through forgiveness, start with yourself, start with you. And there's different levels, different ages of you suffered different fucking things. You know, the infant version of you, just because you don't remember it doesn't mean it's not there somewhere. The toddler version or the child, the preteen, the fucking teenager, and that's what I put on here, teen anger, okay? There's a lot of that within you, right? What a lot of people miss, and it's crazy that I just, if you guys know of a lady named Christina Lopez, she's like the heart alchemist, right? She always talks about a lot of things. Like a day ago, her video popped up and it was talking about this. And one of the things that stuck out to me on that video was the fact that people forget to deal with the teenage version of themselves. Everyone jumps to that child version and we forget about the teen. And then the other adult parts of you, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, depending on what age you are, 50s, 60s, 70s, wherever you're at. Don't forget to you know, do that, where you go through your stages. And I'm promising you, when you do, especially meditative, the one that needs you the most is going to pop up. So you don't really even need to think about it. Your higher self already has you. Your higher self is already going to throw the one that needs you in front of you. You just need to start, and you need to find a facilitator and start working with this. You can also, we can give you some tools to do different worksheets and things like that at home. So that you can start looking at which version of you, but start with yourself before anybody else. You deserve it. You deserve the love. You have held this shit in for as long as probably we can remember, right? It's time for you to give your younger versions of self. And I'm going to just warn you, they might not be as nice to see you as you might want them to be, okay? They might not be as ready. And we're going to do a little bit of that today, later on. And if your younger version of yourself is not, you know, bubbly and happy with you, it's okay. It's okay. All right. When you get to the points where you want to start forgiving others, again, you do not need to do it in person. This isn't like an AA where you need to go to everybody and apologize to them and start writing letters to every fucking body. None of us are perfect, so none of us can sit in a seat of you know, pointing the fingers. You don't need to do it in person, though. There's ways to do it, which we have found on a spiritual level. There's ways to do it with their spirit. There's ways to do it with their soul, where you never have to contact that person. You never have to see that person face to face, okay? So just remember, forgiveness does not mean that you need to pick up the phone or go fucking find them on Facebook and nothing like that. You don't have to do any of that, okay? You can heal on all levels with you just finding the right techniques that work for you, okay? I just want to make sure you guys are all on mute, okay? Especially if you got stuff going on in the background. So I'm going to hand it over to Louisa and some steps of forgiveness.
So next slide, please. Okay, so we all know that forgiveness is something that we should do for ourselves, or something that we are at least learning. But there are times when this can be a hindrance to you. And this usually happens when you try to push it forward before you are ready. So, possible disadvantages of forgiveness: decreased self-respect, because we would try to forgive in order to keep the peace, or because we are pressured to forgive. And sometimes that leaves us feeling as if our concerns and our feelings are not valid, or that someone else's are more important than yours, which is definitely not true. Um, this can leave a person feeling as if they never should have shared in the first place, or it's not a safe space for them, and can leave you in a mental space of diminished self-worth or self-respect. So this is something to think about when you are in the process of forgiving. Another one is a false sense of forgiveness. And with the pressure to forgive so in our face these days, even with us today with our lesson plan, we talk about forgive, 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 which is so good for you personally, but sometimes you have to take your time. Don't rush the steps. Don't rush the process of forgiving. Because you may do that and you still feel that same emotional baggage and you still hold it against the person. So it's not truly forgiving. And with this, sometimes you allow all of that to build up and you think, okay, I forgave this, and then something else compounds on top of it until one day where you just kind of blow up at the person or a situation about something that's not even related to what you are feeling hurt by in the first place, by the original offense. There's also the feeling guilty if you're not ready or able to forgive.
Louisa, do you hear that? Does anybody else hear that?
What do you hear?
It's like if someone was rubbing on a microphone.
It almost sounds like paper being brushed around.
Is everybody on mute?
You still hear it?
Yes, I hear it, but I'm on mute. So when I'm talking, half the time I forget.
Okay. Everybody go on mute. Let's try this again. It was like not so bad, then all of a sudden it just like started going crazy. And I was like, what the heck?
All right, let's see. Feeling guilty if you're not ready or able to forgive. Are we good now? Okay. There are times where we create these timelines in our own head of how fast these things should happen. It's like, oh, well, I started the process, so I want to forgive, and it needs to happen like now. And that often leaves us feeling as if we are inadequate because we are unable to move towards this process. Excuse me. And then, oh, maybe that was me making the noise. Do you hear it now? I don't know. Okay. Because I think my hand was hitting there. Anyway, sometimes the pain is too deep to address in the moment, and that's okay. You don't have to do everything now, right now, especially in the society that we are in. It's like we all want immediate results, and that's just not always the case. And obviously there's going to be more, but we only have but so much time in the class. So these are just a few of the reasons, the possible disadvantages. A lack of remorse and correction from the offender. sometimes if you go through the process of trying to forgive too readily and just trying to have everything settled, the person who has done the offending may not have any recourse for their actions. They may just continue to do the same thing over and over because they expect that you are going to forgive them. And so it's like a cycle where you fall back into that first stage of a decreased sense of self-respect because, okay, well, nothing is going to happen. I just want this to work. So let me go ahead and just forgive, and then continue to have the same trauma over and over again. And once again, it should be noted that when coming from a healthy and ready place to forgive, the possible disadvantages to forgiveness decreases or even disappears. And remember that this is your journey to forgiveness. Everything is to be done on your timeline, not anyone else's. So if somebody was able to forgive a certain offense and you have that same offense done to you, it does not matter what they were able to achieve or how long that it took. It's all your journey. Next slide, please. The 4 R's to self-forgiveness. Sometimes it's a little easier to have a saying or something that you can relate so that you can find a way to remember. So the first one is responsibility. You have to take accountability for what you have done to hurt or harm anyone else, even if this was to yourself. It's not to make excuses, because oftentimes people will try to say, okay, I'm sorry and have a reason for why they did it. No, accountability is just accepting that responsibility for it. Sorry, excuse me. Remorse, which is where you are able to feel that guilt. And a lot of times that guilt in and of itself is what allows you to know, maybe I'm not such a bad person after all. I do feel like this was not the right move to make. But unfortunately, guilt usually leads to shame, and shame leaves us feeling like a bad person. So it's being able to acknowledge the feelings that you have towards the wrong action that you have done, but also being able to let it go to the extent of where, okay, this doesn't make me a bad person. I can grow, I can learn, I can change from this. Sorry. Anyway, so you can grow and you can change, because somebody is in the waiting room, let me just admit them. When you give yourself the ability to put that to the side and stop these toxic thoughts about yourself, it can improve your mental state and can give you the space to grow and improve. Because a lot of times, this guilt and shame that we hold on to can lead to further toxic behaviors, such as hostility, depression, anxiety. I am having a brain fart. I'm sorry, guys. Dun, dun, dun. Of feeling worthless and just further toxic behaviors. Next, I would say restoration, which is where you are repairing the situation. This sometimes just starts with something as simple as apologizing, but you don't stop there. When you are working to repair a relationship or a situation, you take action to improve and to show how you have changed, and where you know that where you were leading with was not a good space for you or for them. You acknowledge that you hurt the person. And we say person, but it can be multiple people. We're just, for simplicity, gonna say person. But yeah, you acknowledge that you hurt them, and you can ask them, what can I do to make this better? And then you actually take those actions to make it better. It's not just about an apology. An apology without action is manipulation. So it's all about going back to the accountability. You take that on and you move forward. And then you have renewal, which is where the forgiveness for self actually happens. Because you have to remember, we all make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. People will make mistakes towards you just as you will make mistakes towards them. So again, it's working to forgive yourself and be kind and be patient, and realize that you're going to make mistakes along the way. And again, as long as you are striving to be better than you were, and you truly went through the steps where you took responsibility, you felt remorseful, and so you knew that that was not a behavior you wanted to continue, you did what you could to restore and repair the relationships or the situations, and then you move to being able to forgive yourself and letting that go, and not holding on to those toxic feelings that you have towards yourself. And sometimes you even have to take yourself out of the equation, because we are often our own worst critics, where you may tell somebody else, oh, why are you beating yourself up over that? You should have let that go a long time ago, or you didn't know any better at the time. So when you take yourself out of the equation and think of yourself as a third party, you can be patient and kind the same way you would to someone else, while also being realistic, which also, not, okay, I forgive myself, no accountability, and then you throw everything else out the window. No, it always sticks together. It's always a pathway, and it won't always be easy. Again, this is your journey as well, this journey of self-forgiveness. So you may have to step back and repeat a step, because maybe you were not as clear, or you didn't work through it the way that you thought you did. So you just keep moving forward. Next slide, please. Steps to forgiving others. Not always an easy task either. As Ariana mentioned before, sometimes we're like, why the fuck should we forgive them? Who are they? Why do they deserve my forgiveness? But again, remember, this is for you. So one, some of these will overlap, or it'll be a different meaning to the words, like acknowledge, which is about understanding the hurt. So with this, I say you ask yourself some questions so that you can get a handle on what you are feeling and what has happened. And this would be, who is this person to you? Because sometimes that matters. Your mother doing one thing to you and an acquaintance doing the same thing does not always have the same effect. What did they do? Why did they do it? If they've been able to explain, or even if you can figure it out, because sometimes it's like, oh, this person lied to me. Not that it's an excuse or a reason to allow the behavior, but sometimes we understand, oh, they thought they were protecting me by doing this. And also, when did it happen? How long ago did the hurt happen? How long ago was the offense? Because, as Ariana mentioned, there's different stages, and this could have been something that happened in childhood or in your teenage years that you've been holding on to. And the longer we tend to hold on to an offense, to a hurt, the harder it tends to be to just let it go, because it kind of becomes like a safety net for us. So at this point, with asking these questions, you're kind of removing your emotion from this temporarily, just so that you can get an idea of the facts of the actual situation. Next, we go into considering. And this is, are you ready? This is when you definitely bring those emotions back in. This is where you figure out, how has this offense harmed you? How has it affected your life? Who in your life has it affected? And remember that this is where you're going to decide if you even want to consider forgiving them. Forgiveness is always a choice. You do not have to forgive. It's a beautiful thing, and it can be so healing, but it's still a choice. And we all have choices, and some people choose to hold on to that anger and hurt. And there's nothing that anybody else can do or say to make you decide to let that go. So that is up to you. So you have to consider, are you ready to forgive? You have to accept the fact that the past cannot change. Whatever the hurt was, it has happened. It is a reality. Whether the person is remorseful or not for what they've done to you, it happened. This is just something that you have to find a sort of peace with in order to progress in the journey of forgiveness. I almost said healing. And this is about you deciding that you can let it go, that you don't have to hold on to it. It doesn't make you a stronger or a better person to hold on to this feeling. And then once you accept what's happened, if you're ready, if you're able, and that the past cannot change, you make the determination of, can you truly forgive? Because some hurts for some people are too difficult for them to face. And while they may understand that the past cannot change, they come to the conclusion, I can't do it. It's just not possible. And we cannot find fault in you for that. It's definitely, like I said before, a very healing experience, but you have to be ready. Me saying that it's healing for you to forgive, it means nothing if you one, try to forgive when you're not there yet. Then we go back to the previous where it was like, okay, I'm going to forgive just because I want to make everything better. And then you get that false sense of forgiveness. So it's better to truly look within and take the time to decide if this is something that you can do. And then next, we have repair. And this is where you go to fix the relationship. And although you would think that it falls on the person who did the offending, it sometimes has to start with you, because you have to be open to repairing the relationship. You have to be open to hearing them out and seeing if what they have to offer is something that you can handle, and if you can handle them being in your life or not. And it's not going to restore the relationship back to what it was, because that takes time, that takes building of trust once again. So even if you're working to repair the relationship, don't think, okay, it's gonna be the same. And it's also not starting over per se, because you know the person already. How often do we say, okay, let's just start over, my name is blah blah blah, and then those same things come back because you didn't deal with it? That's not repairing, that's masking over. So you're not starting over, but you're starting from a different place where you may have to learn them again, they may have to learn you again, and you're able to create your boundaries. And this is what you can do also while you're learning what you can gain from this forgiveness. What do you gain? You can gain self-healing. You can gain this clarity of where you need to set your boundaries. You learn what you will and will not allow from other people. And you also learn a way that you don't want to be towards others, because sometimes we don't realize what we do until it's done to us. And so you get, oh, like, maybe this is not a behavior I want to do. Look at how much it hurts me. I could be hurting somebody else by doing this same thing to them. So it's about learning yourself and just gaining. And when you forgive, you also learn how light you can feel, how light you can be, because that heaviness of holding on to that pain, holding on to that regret, holding on to the anger, it just lightens up your emotional load when you don't have to hold on to that anymore, when you realize that you can move forward for you and you can move forward with the person if you so choose, or you can move on and move forward without the person if you come to realize this person is not somebody I need in my life at this time, and there is more harm than good from this relationship. And so just learning that that's okay. You can cut anybody off who is toxic to your being, toxic to your mental state. And they may not even be a toxic person, but they can be toxic for you. And then we move on to forgiveness, which is letting go of the hurt. You're removing that from yourself because it is heavy, it is hurtful. And there's the saying that it's like holding on to that anger and those feelings. It's like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. So holding on to all of that is really harming you in the long run. Like they may feel sorry, feel bad, or they may not feel anything. Because remember, this forgiveness is not for them. It is always for you. So being able to let go of that hurt relieves stress. It's been studied where there's decreased anxiety and depression. Substance abuse, that was the word I was trying to think about way back when. Because you feel all this hurt and you want to mask it. And masking it goes into those other toxic traits that most of us would like to be able to release. We want to be able to move to a space of healing and moving forward and not holding on to the past that we cannot change. So we learn from the past, but we don't hold on to it. We move forward and we accept that we can be a different person and hold on to different values and forgive others. And it just helps to lighten our own load. And as always, it's not a linear process. Same as with forgiving yourself. Sometimes you have to go back and reevaluate. It's always a process. It's always something that is individual to you. And remember that you do not have to keep the person in your life to forgive them. You can love from afar if this is somebody that you have those types of feelings for. And this is not just romantic. This can be your mother, your brother, your old best friend, anyone in your life. You can realize that, okay, this is somebody I don't want any connection with anymore, and I don't feel anything towards them. And that's fine too. To not hold on to the anger and be able to feel neutral towards a person is still a lightening experience. And it's your journey, so you have to make it what you want it to be. Next. You're on mute.
Before we go, I just wanted to go back real quick because I wanted to give you guys a couple of examples that just kind of came up. Luckily, I'm a shitload of fucking examples of life, right? So, especially when it comes to family, like I'll give you an example, like myself and my mom, right? When it got to the point of fixing the relationship, like trying to fix the relationship. I love my mom from far, and a lot of people don't understand that. But my mom has chosen to be a very negative person in a negative space, where everything is poor me, my life is shit, and she just can't be happy. So there's no way for us to go forward to really do anything together because of the state of where she's chosen to be. I don't call her every day. I don't talk to her all the time. I love her dearly. I don't have anything against her anymore. I just choose to stay away, and because of the type of place that she's in, you know what I mean? So sometimes that where you're looking at the relationship and you're really asking yourself, yeah, I've let it go with this person. I love this person. I wish we had a better relationship. But is them in my life every day? What is that going to do for me? And if it's something that is more, you know what I mean, stress and fucking, burdens and negativity, then you might have to limit your connection with whoever the person is, right? When you're forgiving yourself, like most of you guys know I lost a daughter at 15 and she died of sudden infant death. which there's no real cause behind it besides they stopped breathing even after doing an autopsy. So you really get left with a lot of questions more than answers, right? And no matter what, even though like they said it wasn't my fault, I could not shake the guilt from it. You know, it was just gonna be there forever and always. I've had 20 plus years, 27 years to be exact, to work through that, and at a place finally where I'm not beating myself up. But again, whatever the situation is, it's gonna be stages of when you look at it and ask, like, what was it really doing to keep myself in a space of not forgiving myself for whatever I fucking think I didn't do for her in this life, you know? So it's each particular example, you just really take that minute and look at it, really understand, what are you really hurt from? What is really bothering you? You're gonna see sometimes it's not even what happened, it goes deeper into some other shit that's going on with you or happened to you, you know? You guys hear me say this a lot, and I will always say it. People love us at the capacity that they love themselves. And we always, always, always expect people to love us the way we love. And they can't. You have to understand that. People can only love you as deep as they love themselves. You can only love people as deep as you love yourself, right? And so when we get to those points of trying to understand that, you can forgive your parents, because then you start thinking like, these people actually love me to the capacity that they fucking could, you know? And you're taking it like, I would never do this to my child. I would never fucking say these things to my child. I would never put my child in this. You're not them. You're not. They're coming from a different place. So when you start to look at every one of these pieces that have broken you down, that have hurt you, even when I think of, you know, situations of like molestation and stuff like that, those people that do that, they're suffering from something within them. Doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it that, you know, that it's okay, but they got some fucked up shit going on within them. We can't even imagine what is going on in someone's mind, right? We can't imagine what's going on in their space. So instead of holding on to that anger, and it will fester into physical things. It will fester into your body and ailments and pains, disease and things like that. It just eventually will, you know? And what I can tell you, when I look at my mom is she's barely in her early 70s, barely can walk. She's had major fucking surgeries, barely could use her hands, because she's just crumbling away from her own hurt, her own pain, and everything that has happened to her in her life. But she's had a million of things that have happened. But everything in this life goes to how we respond and react to everything. We could stay in those moments, or we can choose to start going through it and ask ourselves, what is it really giving to me by holding on to this shit? What is it really doing for me to stay in this place of hurt and pain because someone chose to do whatever they did, right? So just hopefully you guys, when you're thinking about your situations, you could just kind of really take those steps back. I love how you put this, Louisa, too, because just taking it and really fine tuning every relationship, everything. Again, it's not giving them a pass. It's not saying that what they did was right. It's not saying that you're saying you're like, okay, well, you did this, it doesn't matter. No, fuck no. Yes, it matters. It matters to you. Just don't stay there and hold on to it. So I do want to do, we're going to do a small group meditation. There's two parts to this, okay? But first, I do got to get your verbal consent to treat. So in the chat, type you agree to the treatment today. It's not like the treatment like that, but it is a treatment. Verbally, you could say I agree. So I want you guys also, again, every time we're doing something like this, it does bring up stuff, okay? It will bring up stuff. It will bring up, I gotta make sure you guys are all chatting. All right, I see Rebecca, I see Hope. Okay, Veda, Chandel. Okay, who else is in here? Luis, did you say agree? And then Akuswa, did you say agree? anytime we're doing this, we want to definitely get you guys to, of course, this is a really small meditation, but it does hit, and there are things that come up. And anytime that we're working with trauma, we're working with anything like that, I want you guys to be mindful. You, at any time, if it gets too intense for you, open your eyes. Open your eyes. You are always in control. You're not being, I'm not putting you under any hypnosis or anything, but it can get very real very quickly. So anytime
I
something's
agree.
coming, okay.
Thank you, Louise.
Anything that's coming up for you, I want you to remember that you are always in control and you can open your eyes and step away from that. And then if that does happen while you open your eyes, I just want you to breathe. If you need to cry, cry. Okay, just sit and breathe. And then, we'll be watching the chat. While I'm doing this first part, I'll have Louisa just kind of watch the chat. So if anything's going on while I'm guiding you through this, the second part, it's recorded. I did record that part, and I'll watch the chat with that one. But in this first part, I'll have Louisa just kind of watch the chat just in case if anything too overwhelming comes in. I want you guys to open your eyes, start breathing, and then kind of, just kind of separate yourself from whatever's coming up for you. Again, like I said, whenever we're doing this different, the very part of you that needs you, whatever age that is going to pop up for you. So if you need to put headphones on, if you have people in the house, if you need to grab some headphones, put some headphones on, because I want you to really be engaged in this so that you can get the big, maximize this opportunity. If for some reason there's too much going on where you're at and you don't have headphones, this will be recorded and put in the group so you can go back later and do this meditation, okay? But again, every time we do healing, we are doing triggers. We are bringing shit up that you haven't dealt with in a very long time, okay? There's gonna be shit that pops up, so I want you guys to always be mindful. I don't care who you work with, whether it's me or any other facilitator, I want you to always remember triggers can go deep and it can bring up some very harmful feelings that maybe you haven't felt or even realized was there, okay? And then I'll have you all keep yourselves on mute. That way we're not taking anybody out of their meditation. So get somewhere where it's quiet or put some headphones on where you're not being disturbed and nobody's going to come in and bother you. And then I'll let you guys get situated. And once you guys get situated, once you guys all tell me you're ready, then we will go into it. Oh, wait, not that one yet. Trying to make sure they're quiet on my end too. All right, everybody good? I think everybody's good. Everybody's good. Did I get a yes from Akuswa? I don't know. Okay, so if you're sitting up, just make sure your feet are planted on the ground. Make sure you're in a comfortable sitting position, okay? I do want you guys to put your hands over your heart space, okay? We're gonna be bringing in some love. I want you guys to close your eyes. So everyone, close your eyes. You're just sitting nice and comfy. And I want you guys to make sure that you're breathing throughout this exercise. So when we breathe, we're gonna breathe in through our nose. We're going to take it down to the chest space and hold for about 3 seconds. And then release from your mouth, okay? You'll feel that every time you do this, the more you do it and you breathe out your mouth, you let it out of your mouth, you'll feel a little bit heavier, a little bit lighter, okay? So in through your nose. Take it deep into that chest. And then you're going to release through your mouth. Do it one more time. Nose. Down into the chest space. and then release. And if you get used to doing it where you're pushing from your stomach up, you'll really continue to feel just that kind of release, okay? So I want you guys first to remember that you guys are always protected and you are always supported. And as we're doing this, of course, I'm, sending my love, positive protection light around everyone. But I want you guys to just think of yourself in a protective bubble. Protected, I don't care what color it is. Create your protective bubble as we're sitting in our circle together. And I want you guys to know your angels and ancestors and guides and your team, your higher self, they're right next to you. They're supporting you so that there's no negative energy entering this circle. Breathe in into the chest and then release. Now I want you guys to call the version of yourself that needs you today. Have her or him sit in front of you. Whatever that age is, I want you to pay attention to how they look, how they feel, are they quiet, are they crying, are they talking, are they hiding? And I want you to ask this version of yourself, what do they need from you today? Very simple. What do they need from you today? Some of you may get an answer. Whatever they said, go ahead and tell them, give them, show them. If you did not get an answer, it's okay. Just ask them if you can sit with them for a while. Some of you, the version of you may need a hug. It's okay to hug them. Some of them may need encouragement, and that's okay. Some of them may not be ready to come out, and that's okay too. Whatever it is that your version needs from you today, that's what you're going to give them. That's what you're going to do. Breathe in. Into the chest. And if you're feeling any emotions, it's okay. Just honor it. Don't hold it in. Don't hold it back. If you need to cry, it's okay. Just continue to talk to that version of self. I want you also, as you're working with that version of you, I want you to check in with the heart space of that version of you. What does that look like? What does that feel like? Okay. I do want you to ask the version of yourself if it is okay to send them love and support. And if they say no, it is okay. Just continue to sit with them. If they say yes, I want you to think of whatever color light your chest, your heart space to theirs, gently, lovingly, send them that love, send them that positivity and that support. Breathe in to the chest. Releasing all of that negative bullshit. Those of you who have your version of self that's talking, ask them if they are ready to come back and integrate with you. And those of you remember that if you can't get there with your version, it's okay. You can do this with them hundreds of times until they are ready. Okay? No pressure, no force, just love. And for those of you, if you can get your version to even play or jump or smile, even better. Don't worry about it if you can't, okay? To ask the version of yourself, is there anything else you can do for them today? Go ahead and do that. Say that. If you're hugging your version, give them a huge big hug. Breathe in to the chest space. Release. Those of you that have the version of you that is ready to integrate back with you, allow them to climb back into your heart. You can begin to come back and open your eyes. For those of you that your version of yourself is not ready, it's okay. Just let them know you'll be back. You'll work with them again, that you love them, and you're here for them. Thank them for showing up for you today. I want you to take a deep breath in into the heart space. You're ready? I want you to open your eyes. Back. When everybody is back, we will do part two. For those of you that need more time to sit with your person, yourself, it's okay. Do so.
Okay, I'm gonna play the prayer that Ariana recorded earlier today. Let me know if anybody is having issues hearing it. Are we ready?
I think everybody is good. Ariana. Put your hands over your heart, right in the center space. Connect. Today we will clear our mind, body, and soul. I want you to repeat everything that I say. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I'm grateful. And I want you to connect with yourself. Say this to self. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I am grateful. If you ever felt like you were let down in this world, I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I am grateful. If you ever felt abandoned, I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I am grateful. If you've ever been abused in this lifetime, I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I am grateful. If you have felt unworthy, I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I am grateful. If at any time you have felt ugly, or your body wasn't the right to society standards, and it made you uncomfortable with yourself, made you hate a part of yourself, I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I am grateful. I want you to take a moment, breathe in through your nose, into your chest, hold, 3, 2, 1. Release. Allow the sun to come into your space, brighten it up, warm the energy around you, and support you. Feel the love from Mother Gaia as you continue to connect with your heart space. Allow yourself to smile. You are here. Say, I am present. You have survived. Say, I am thriving. You are empowered now. Say, I am worthy. Smile. Feel the love and support around you. And I want you to repeat, I am abundant. I am loved. I am grateful. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I am grateful.
Thank you. Take another deep breath in. To your chest and hold. 3, 2, 1. Smile. And as you start to come back, wiggle your toes, your feet, your hands, wiggle your body. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Thank you. Sending you all love and light.
I swear, no matter how many times I do that, I get teary-eyed. Like, I've been doing this same shit for like a year, like over a year. I get teary-eyed every time I do it. So,
Just as a FYI for everybody who is here right now, I did post that on both the Healing to Humanity page as well as the Facebook group if you want to listen to that one again without listening to the whole Zoom meeting.
yes. Whew. So, anybody want to share what came up for them? We can talk about it a little bit, only if you're okay with that.
I want to start. This may be the habit.
Hey, boo.
The little girl actually did talk to me. Well, I talked to myself, and the reason I laughed was she said, "Oh, I got this big when I got older. This how I look when I got older." So I bust out laughing. you know. She was carefree. After you can see yourself, the funny part of yourself, the happy part of yourself before everything happens.
Right.
And I saw her before. She was just a normal child, silly, like to play, stuff like that, very friendly. Then after, I saw the scaredness. I saw the I can't tell version, which led to I can't trust later on. I saw the I'm protecting people if I, didn't mention it. You get what I'm saying? Which led to being the one everybody came to and protecting the family later on. The nightmares she had for a little while. So she started learning how to pray. Actually by looking at movies in school and stuff like that. Somebody see it, somebody heard it, other than whoever was around. Somebody was there. So I told her, I got you. You strong. And I hugged her before, I hugged her during, I hugged her after. And I sat on the side of her bed, which is not her bed, and just watched her cry until she prayed and she went to sleep. When she woke up, she was hurt, but she still got up. She went to school, socialized with her friends, like nothing happened, but she still had that wound. So that gave me a lot of sense of bravery and courage and strength that I had been, and it's not nothing easy for nobody to go through that early. And to go through life as a growing up teenager, you kind of see some of that other side. It might not be the exact thing, but you see it within the people you associate with. So that lets you know who I want to deal with, who I want to socialize with, who I feel comfortable sharing certain things with. She also looked at men differently. Family, friends. She took a lot out on me, which wasn't right. I have to admit that. And that's something I'm learning now. I can't blame now or present for the past. I'm learning to let that go. At the stage now where I'm willing to hear people out, like y'all said, it's the stage of forgiveness. But if, that person is not able to account for their accountability of what they did, then it's like my hands washed. I tried. I wish you well. Stay over there. I stay over here. And that's all the way down to the family. My mother, we have a strange relationship. Ours are better apart than together. So I respect that boundary because that means I have some type of formal relationship with her. But she couldn't give me what she didn't have, and I had to grow to understand that, it wasn't just hate or anger she had from her childhood or my dad maybe. It was, she didn't have it. So I had to understand her story and in order to understand why I went through what I went through. And even to the day, I still tell her, you have every day, every second till you leave this earth to make a change. You get what I'm saying? And not just for me, I'm the oldest. So not just for me, you got 5 other people. If you can do it with just one of us, that'll make a big difference. So she still won't be her. So we all leave her where she be. We still love her. And, it triggered me to the point that I try not to cry because I've been so built up to holding everything in.
No.
Until I spaz on the wrong. I spaz on people. I actually do spaz on people. But I try to do it to myself, while nobody's around. But if somebody catch me at that moment in that thoughts, then they're going to get it. So I try to reflect. I have to look at myself. Why am I keep getting in these situations? Why am I keep, allowing myself to miss out on things I know I supposed, how you forget a certain level in your life and you miss out because of the things that you have to work on within yourself. Right. So, yeah, it sure is.
It's a process though, it's a process. I'm sorry, I'm all blurry. What's going on my camera?
No.
And I want to thank y'all because I wanted to catch one of the healing circles of forgiveness. I did tell you that one of the videos where I actually caught it, and I hope to catch more so I can better put myself for the next 20 years of my life, or tomorrow. I don't want to go years later hating people. I don't want to go years later being mean, nasty, because that's not my nature. Now I'm gonna say what I feel. That's just me. But I don't want to just, those stones. No, I gotta work on me too. So I thank you all.
You're welcome.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes, thank you so much. Just remember when it steps in layers. There's no rush, right? There's no rush, and like you said, the people who can't take that accountability or own up to their stuff, it's okay. You'll find we're going to teach you steps like we just did, where you can literally put them in that space also and do the same type of healing. Most likely you're going to get the result of them still not owning up to their shit, but at least you get to work through and you see that it's really nothing else to do to this particular situation, right? And let yourself out of it. And I always say, for one of the things that has helped me make better choices in my life and not keep letting people hurt me is remembering the little girl that's so broken, the little girl that I'm trying to heal still, and because of her, I'm like, I can't keep making the same decisions and let people, you know what I mean? I can't keep doing that. That's what's helped me over this past 3 years, is when I seen how broken my little one was, how bad it was. And I just was like, nope, I got to show up. I got to be that support. I got to be that one in charge, because you're the adult now. You are the one in charge. You always have that to where you can be like, no more. I'm not dealing with it. I'm not taking it. No more. Right?
Yes.
But steps, don't beat yourselves up too much. Anybody else wanna share?
Well, to add to that, I will say one thing about getting in contact with your younger self. If you didn't have that person to be there to stand up and protect you at the time, you get to be that for yourself now. You get to go back and you can wrap your arms around your younger self and say, I am here. I believe you. I protect you. I stand with you. So it's just knowing that you are there for you then and now.
Right. Right. I can tell you that I'm still working with the 15-year-old version of myself. She's the one who took a lot. And when she, she would just keep looking at me like, I don't believe you. Like, I don't believe you. You say you got my back, but I didn't see you do some stupid shit. Like, no, no, and no. You know what I mean? So I've been working with her specifically for over a year. And I just got her to smile. She's still not completely there yet, but I understand why. So like I said, no pressure, no rush, because again, there wasn't no one for those younger versions of yourself. Nobody was there for them. They're not going to be, just because you're you now is not going to make them be like, oh, okay, I got you. Because again, we still tend to let people do certain things. We tend to not look at you know what I mean? We tend to overlook when we love people. We tend to blind and be in denial sometimes. And so now, even as adults, sometimes we got to sit back and be like, oh shit, I got to be accountable. That's the becoming accountable for your own actions, right? To say, you know what, even though this person is shitty, at some point, we all kind of know it's coming, right? At some point, we all kind of feel it. And it's still not to beat yourself up about it. It's still not to, get on yourself and be like, you're such a horrible person because you trust another person who did you wrong. Get that out of your mind. We're human. We want to love. We want to be loved. It is a part of it. It doesn't make you less than because you decided to give this person another chance and go against what you knew to be true. You just take that, you shake it off, and you say, at some point, you're not going to do it again. At some point, you're really going to trust that good instinct, right? At some point, you're going to hear that inner spidey sense that comes out like, no, this is a bad idea, And hopefully with all of the healing, that also inspires you to do it, right? It inspires you to make those changes within as well. Okay.
Yeah. And inspires you to put yourself first. It's not selfish. It's not being greedy to put yourself first.
Right. You got to. Everyone teaches us to be everybody else, but your healing journey is yours, and it is about you. And it is about repairing you, not nobody else. I will tell you though, no matter who else decides to heal in your family, all deep core soul healing goes 7 generations back, 7 generations front. You will see, as the deeper you go with your healing, you will see that your people right next to you that will change in ways that they don't even realize that they're changing. They will be hit in certain ways, and you'll be like, what's going on with you? They won't know it. They have no idea what's going on, but something's going on inside them. So remember, first you deal with you, but as you get to those core issues, you will start to see changes in others. You will start to see the changes in the people that you're connected to, especially family DNA wise, because some of this shit is ancestral. Some of it goes from line to line to line. And at some point, somebody has to say, enough is enough. We got to repair this. We got to get this out of our DNA. We got to get rid of this shit so it doesn't keep going on and on and on. Okay. Anybody got any questions? Now, of course, that meditative style that we did, of course, if I did one-on-one with you, it'd be a little bit different because you'd be telling me what's going on. And so we would work through that a little bit differently. But in a group, it's different because I can't have everybody saying that their younger versions of themselves are doing all at the same time. But if you guys are good to just tell me what age popped out for you.
Mine was 13.
13? Okay.
And I just know, like, at 13, I felt alone. And I'm more of a writer than I am. Everyone heals differently. And with me, I write. Like, for this whole session, 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. So I'm a writer. And for some reason, I was just writing. At 13, I just felt so alone. I felt sad. I felt misunderstood. And then as we were doing the therapy, I just kept saying, like, but you are not alone. Like, you are loved. And when you're ready to be open to the love you deserve, You know, I just like, those are just some things that I wrote, and I'm sorry I'm getting emotional, but
Aw.
I just want to put this out there that us healers, I know that some of you may know that I'm in the group, we're not all healed. We're just like you, and no matter how much you try to heal from the hurt, it's repetitive. Like I've done healing sessions with Ariana for the age of 7. I don't remember what happened at the age of 7, but when I did that meditation, clearly something happened at that age that I needed to heal from that I had no earthly idea. You know, even now, like 13, like for shit, I don't even remember 13. Like what happened that, you know, that long ago. And as we're doing the healing and you're talking, it's like, boom, okay, this is what it was. This is what was going on. This is like, damn, you know, in that moment before, I wasn't thinking like, oh, I'm going to pick the number 13. No, it just came to me, you know, it's just crazy. It's just
Right.
never ending. And we are just like you guys. We go through shit just like y'all. We have to heal just like y'all. It's never ending.
Right. Right. Thank you for sharing, Boo.
You're welcome.
I see a lot of the teens popped out today. Shonda,
Ooh.
16.
Rebecca said 14.
Mm-hmm. Shonda,
And
16.
I'm not trying to like cut off, but for some reason I had to stop myself because I have Rebecca's name written down. I don't know what it was, and I don't know if maybe it's close to the age, you know, like what the age wise, maybe we're kind of going through the same thing. But I got caught up in her emotions and her feelings, and I don't know why. I guess that's just the healer in me. So I'm just like, oh, like stop. Like, okay, Hope, you're here to heal you, not trying to, you know, pick up on anybody else's energy. But I do want to say, Rebecca, that I do send you lots of healing and love because I feel that maybe you and I went through a lot of the same things. And the only thing that keeps repeating to me is you are not alone. I don't know if that resembles with you or not, but your emotions are very strong. And I guess that's something that I need to learn to like cut off because I mean, like, look at her, like she's making me cry. I'm just like, stop, you know. But I don't know. I'm just in lots of healing towards you. For some reason, I have a connection for it, like to you. I don't know what the heck it is, but you are not alone, and you were never alone.
Rebecca, what age came out for you, Boo?
14.
14. Yeah, I was going around giving you guys hugs in the meditation.
And it's crazy that Hope said that because I felt Rebecca's emotion also.
And in the mix of that, my dog did too.
Yes, and I saw your dog go comfort you, and I was very happy that that happened.
She came running.
Aww. So you see how, and this is good. The emotions are good. You know, this is stuff that you've been holding in for a very long time, right? So even with that, as hard as I know sometimes it's hard to get those emotions out, but don't you feel a little bit better though that some of this came out, right? Feel a little bit better that you got.
I feel a lot better.
Right, awesome. I do want you guys, of course, to keep in contact with me. Of course, all you guys pretty much know me and have a way to get in contact with me. But just in case, you know, anything comes up, because again, we are triggering some shit like how Hope was saying. You don't even realize sometimes when you sit in these. I could tell you guys the first time I ever did this, my 5-year-old self popped up, right? And it made me cry. The instant I saw her start crying, because she was hiding behind a chair. And she was so quiet, so fucking alone. Like I'm about to get like horribly sad right now, just thinking about it. Because she was so fucking sad and she was so alone and hiding. And I was just like, oh no, like, you know, come here, you know. And at first she didn't want to come to me. And that kind of hurt me too, because she didn't want to come to me. And it was just like, what the fuck? And so eventually now she's the one with me with all the other versions giving little daisies and shit and flowers to everybody. She's always got this like, I don't even know where the fuck she gets these flowers, but apparently she has magical fucking flowers and she's just always giving people flowers now. but it's awesome to just and it took me a couple times to just get through, my 8-year-old, my 10-year-old, all of these. And then I got stuck with 15, not stuck with, but stuck at 15, because she's the one who's been through the most. She's the one who lost the baby. She's the one that kind of her whole life crashed down. And then she went through a horrible, horrible patch after that, did a lot of shit that she regretted afterwards. Wanted to die, didn't die, all of that good stuff. But I've worked with also my 20-something-year-olds, but it's more to the 15 is where I've had to stay. You may get an age where you need to stay for a while, because remember, especially teens are so misunderstood. No one fucking understands a teenager. I don't give a shit if you were a teenager, you still don't fucking understand their ass. Nobody understands them. So they're just good. They're going to be that very all over the place kind of energy. And you may need to go back. But remember, you are the one now. You are the adult. You are the one that's going to protect you. And you're the one that's in charge of protecting you. And if you decide to keep allowing people to hurt you from this point on, it is a choice that you're making. Okay? That's where we have to step into that accountability that Louisa was saying. No more can we continue to go back to what was. Now you've seen parts of you. Now you need to show up. This is where shit gets real. This is where you say, I have to show up. And you're still going to do shit. Because let me tell you, you're still going to do shit to be like, fuck, man. But just remember, it's up to you to keep going back to these places. Anybody else want to share before? Anybody else want to share what came up for them? No? Everybody good? And you don't have to.
I just want to say one more thing. It's a growth process when you are able to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
Because, for certain things, I know everybody's situation is different, but a lot of people, keep it mute, and keeping it mute sometimes keeps the pain in. So, everybody that lets it out and talk about it. And I'm shocked that I'm even doing it, because I'm one of those don't get close to me, type of people. But I learned as I got older to use my voice, and a lot of people don't know how to use their voice. So now that I'm loud, don't nobody mess with me. When I was quiet, everybody was ganging up on me, So I just want to tell everybody that is scared to even put it out or let it out. Don't be, because you might help the next person, and that's something I had to learn from my grandparents. You got to help somebody, whether it's your own story or baking them something to eat, help them.
It's true. It's true. Once you start talking about it, there's a sense of relief, because most of the shit you've been holding in for a very long time. But I always will tell you guys when you are ready, because you have to be able to trust fully the space that we're in. And if you don't, that is okay. No one's taking that offensively, okay? You got to be able to trust the space you're in. And I'm someone who's still working through trust issues. Let me tell you, I don't fucking trust nobody still. I still have issues with trust. And even with healers, I have to really have this sense of trust with you to let you do any healing with me. So let me tell you, I get it. Even like reading for me, I don't just have anybody read my cards. I don't have anyone in my energy. I don't have, no, because my trust was stolen so many times in this life. So it will be like that until I'm able to work through everything. So again, once you get to that space where you feel like you can trust this space and you figure like, okay, these are people that I could trust and open up to, boom. Because like she said, once you start saying it out loud, like the words come out, it's like, holy shit, I just actually said this. It's gone out there in the universe. You know what I mean? Yeah, so we are here for you. Right now in the Soul Tribe, we do, right now Louisa's been doing about two healing circles a month. I am going to transfer some of that over to the other group, which is Healing Beyond Humanity. And I'm going to start in September, which is kind of like a group support, basically. So we'll be able to talk about it, let shit out, things like that. I got to see on the calendar. I don't have the calendar for September just yet. But if you're in the Soul Tribe, I think you just did one this week though, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it'll be
so-
not this Tuesday coming, the following Tuesday will be the
Yeah.
next one. I really do it like every other Tuesday. So this month happens to be 3 because there's 5 Tuesdays this month.
Okay. We'll definitely have the dates coming up for you guys. And like I said, if you're already in the Soul Tribe, then you kind of know where that's at. But I am going to take myself and put myself over in the Healing Beyond Humanity side and open up the group circles on that side, since Louisa is manning the Soul Tribe. And I think that'll probably be cool like that for now until we get a schedule. So be looking out for the schedule. We will have that. But we are here for any of you guys that need to talk. Again, if anything comes up, let us know. Again, you guys are definitely not alone. You guys will hear a lot of the stories, especially mine. I do talk about it because you'll see we've all been through so much similar shit. It's crazy. We'll get it out. We'll start healing this shit, right? Get everybody healthy and happy. The thing to realize is that it is an ongoing process. And but I can tell you who I am today is not by far the woman I was at the beginning of my healing path. She was so broken and so fucked up and so just in a horrible space of like, fuck everybody. Even though I loved everybody, it was like, fuck everybody. I just wanted to run away. I really just wanted to like run away from everyone, my kids too, everybody. And now I'm just chilling. Like, I'm not mad at people for being them. That's them. I'm not mad at nobody for being in their relationships. I'm like, hey, that's you. Ain't got shit to do with me. You know, I'm just over here chilling. Like, what am I doing next? You know, and I'm able to keep myself being in a more and more content space than being pissed off and mad and aggravated all the time, because that comes from within. That's not the people on the outside. Remember, our reaction to everything shows what's going on within. And if you're fucking going off, I'll tell you guys, I just had my car impounded, right? Because my apartments decided to issue parking ticket tags that apparently they forgot to tell me about, right? And I just signed my lease like a month ago. Apparently they've been doing this for 2 months now. I was very pissed. I wanted to really just go and like cuss people out, right? And when I went and got my car, I stopped at the office. I could get my tag. In my whole body, I was feeling like, I just want to scream at everybody, right? My whole body was like, these fucking people, what did they do to me, right? But somebody's being taken care of. So I had time to kind of sit and wait as my body's going crazy. And then I started saying, what's really going to happen when I go off on these people? If I decide to go off in this moment, and who am I really mad at? I always ask myself, who am I really mad at in this moment? Am I really mad at them? Because when you look, there was like one email about it. So I was like, I saw that they painted visitor parking. Did I question it? No, I didn't. So I was like, who am I really mad at this part about paying this $150 to get my car out of this tow, right? Who am I really mad at? Myself. And I'm going to take it out of them because they also didn't do their job. So you see how you could just take a moment, take a step back in a situation, and who are you really pissed off and mad at? Most of the time you'll see a lot of it is on you too. So instead of going off, instead of rah, you know what I mean? You just take a step back and be like, oh shit, I need to just woosah and breathe. And that's what I chose to do, that instead of going off on them. Because I was just like, what's the fucking point, right? And that accountability and awareness is key. To become aware and accountable for your own bullshit. You gotta step into that space to be like, was I 100% in this particular situation? Fuck no. Now I gotta just shut up. You know, I just gotta be quiet and go about my business. Okay? So we have one more class in this series coming up off the top of my head. I don't freaking remember, you guys.
The 25th.
It's the 25th. Let me see if I can look up actual class. I can tell you guys what is the class.
Oh, what the class is that? I don't remember off the top of my head.
Right. It's class 4. We are going to be going into understanding blocks. So we'll get into what blocks look like when you're blocked in your life and how that feels. So we're going to be going into that. The recording of this will be in the group. So if you missed it or came in late or anything or missed the meditations, it'll be up in the group along with some worksheets and stuff. So the next series after that, when we go into September, because this is something I'm going to continue doing with Healing Beyond Humanity, we're actually going to get into shadow work. So we'll get into shadow work and what that is, and we'll kind of teach you some techniques of how to keep going with what we're telling you, triggers and acknowledgement, awareness. It is so key to get in that place of self-awareness. That is going to fucking take you to the moon, okay? But if you, like I said, if you missed the other classes, they're in the group. Does everyone know where to find them? Because if not, I will show you right now while I'm thinking about it.
I just have a question. The next class is August 29th or 25th?
What is Thursday?
The 25th.
25th? Sorry, I wrote down the
25th. Yeah, 25th is next Thursday. So it'll be every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So 7:30 my time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Don't be confusing us.
You confuse me when you do that.
I don't have to remember, like, people are all over. So I'm like, Eastern, you converted.
Yeah, that's why I always say it and emphasize it, capital letters, EST, Eastern Standard Time.
Like, you converted. Okay, so everybody is good in the going in the group Healing Beyond Humanity, going under the guides, finding
I
all
think
the other
Vita raised her hand that she didn't know where to find it. Is that correct, Vita? You good?
Okay.
I wrote it down. Just
Okay.
Okay. So if everybody's in the group, first you got to be in the group to find it, right? Healing Beyond Humanity. It's not in the Soul Tribe. So if you're in the Soul Tribe, that's the primary group, but no, it's a different group. So if you're in Healing Beyond Humanity, click the guides and you'll be able to find class 1, class 2. This one will be uploaded in about an hour. It takes me about an hour to get it all uploaded and situated, and then you'll be able to access it. Louisa already posted the meditation that we did that was recorded, because I recorded that one earlier and uploaded it actually to my YouTube. So you can replay that one as many times without the full version of the class. Okay, so that one, the Ho'oponopono one, that prayer, you'll be able to use that one, and it's posted in the group. So you'll be able to find that one over there as well. All right, you guys, so that is about it. We'll go ahead and end the class. Thank you guys so much for showing up. Just know that celebrate this shit. You showing up for you. This is a part of self-love, self-care. When you fucking take the time to do the shit that you need to do, is a part of that, okay? So thank you, and thank yourselves. You guys do something fun today. Make yourself smile. Do something that you laugh before you go to bed, okay? Don't take the heaviness with you. Just let it go. Do something. I don't give a shit what it is. Go laugh at something. All right. Love and light, you guys. Bye.